Hello, and welcome to Final Fantasy XIV Main Scenario Quest playthrough. Woo! I didn't say it last time because I forgot, because I'm a goofball that way. But last video was video number 100 of the Final Fantasy playthrough. We're only in post Heavensward. Although, actually, that means that each one will probably be close to... I'm hoping that means that by the time I get through Stormblood, Shadowbringers, Endwalker, I'll be at like 250, maybe 300. But even then, that's a... Good God. That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I hope people like having plenty of videos to watch, because that's what these are. Anyway. Oh, hi, Zarin.
Hello, Xaeus.
How's it going?
My love.
Oh, you're adorable. Oh yeah, Zarin and Xaeus are official. He gave her this rose that she will forever have in her hair. It was very cute, and I thought I was muted during most of it, but I just watched the video, or part of it, and apparently I was not, so I don't know when I got muted, because I didn't watch it that long, but yeah, so the whole interaction was there. But anyway, back to the story at hand. Gabu summoned Titan. And now he's... I don't know. Mute? Broken? Dead inside. His parents are dead, so I can imagine that he's probably not feeling too great. Mentally?
Probably not, no.
Yeah. I know what happened. God's help me. I was there. But the thought that we might have to... Seven hells, he's just a child. She will probably frequently lose and have an accent, so just bear with me on that one.
There is not to be gained from dwelling on an eventuality over which we have no control, much less one which we may never even come to... You're not sleepy, I'm sleepy. Wait, no. There's not to be gained from dwelling on an eventuality over which we have no control, much less one which may never even come to pass. Let us tend to more immediate matters. Informing Commander Bloodwind of Titan's demise, for example. You may be certain that he will be glad of the news. Would you be so kind as to break it to him? I expect the Commander would enjoy hearing the tale of Titan's defeat from the woman responsible, don't you?
Yes. Woo. Where do those come from?
Those what?
The things that make this thing fly.
Somewhere, I guess.
Because they kind of just appear. Alright, well.
Ah, you're a sight for sore eyes. When the others came back without you, I feared the worst, but they said you had matters well in hand. All settled then, is it? I'm glad to hear it, but not half as glad as my men will be, believe you me. Regardless of whether or not he was summoned properly, a primal's a primal, and there ain't a soul in the maelstrom that hasn't lost a friend to one. Don't get me wrong, we were all prepared to do our part, but we weren't so naive as to think we'd live to tell the tale. Yes. Thankfully, of course, it didn't come to that, which, my friend, sounds to me like cause for celebration. Now, I know you lot have places to be, but why not stay the night? We'd be honored to raise a glass to the triumphant return of Titan's Bane. Yarr.
Titan's Bane times 2.
Raise among you lobby bastards to Titan's Bane times 2. Who invited you?
Who goes there? Oh, it's you. Forgive me for straying from the camp. He hasn't been feeling too welcome, to say the least. I thought a change of scenery might do him good. But, alas. It's so quiet out here. The stars spread out before us, beckoning across time and space. Dawn may banish even the darkest night. How bitterly beautiful, those words. I should be stronger for all my experiences, yet my heart aches more than ever. I never understood why Grandfather gave his life that day. I thought that if I came here, I would find the answers I needed. But when I finally laid eyes on the land he sacrificed everything to save, saw firsthand the bickering, the pettiness, I was disappointed. I was angry. I could not fathom how these people were more deserving of his love than his family, than me. Nevertheless, I had to believe he had good reason. I was determined to uncover the whole truth of the calamity and, perhaps in so doing, find my own purpose in this sea of chaos. My travels have been enlightening, but I cannot say that I have enjoyed them. I have lost count of the many petty crises that I was helpless to resolve and of the people whose actions I could not understand. There were others, of course. Good people. People with whom I felt a kinship, whose lives I could not save. I found myself asking what it was all for. Why try if I was doomed to fail in the end? But then I recalled Grandfather's words to my father, years ago, before he left Charlayan behind forever. To ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, it is indolence. We must all protect that which we hold most dear in the manner of our own choosing. We have to try, do we not? Of course, it's one thing to try and another to do. There were times while I was tracking the warriors of darkness when I faltered, when I was afraid. But then I thought of my brother, of Urianger. Oh, pray forgive me. This conversation has been rather one-sided, hasn't it? Mayhap you could recount some of your adventures in Ishgard.
Let's see. I traveled far and wide with 2 companions, Stenian and Xaeus, who were very... Under some rather unique circumstances, I had the pleasure to fight alongside Sir Amric when Alphino and I came at last to the Dravanian hinterlands. I traveled far and wide with 2 companions, Stenian and Xaeus, who were very...
Gods! They must have been at each other's throats from dawn till dusk.
Very.
I dare say you managed to keep the peace, though. Merely being in the presence of the Warrior of Light is surely enough to shame anyone into behaving. The hopes and dreams of so many rest on your shoulders, Warrior of Light. As long as the sun rises, we can but carry on, for the sake of those we hold dear.
To what end dost thou cling to the tainted gifts of the Mother?
Every tool has its purpose. Even this. Well, what is it?
The seeds sown in Vilbrand have been plucked from the earth and left to wither. Alas, Titan's demise sufficed not to drive the kobolds to deepest desperation.
What did the man in white have to say?
That we are to proceed as he did first set forth.
Well, that's easy for him to say! It's not his bloody world on the brink of destruction, is it?
Be thou well reminded that with an end to Ishgard's unrest, naught now remaineth to preoccupy the Scions' thoughts, and thus may they devote their every energy to thwarting thee and thine. I foresee only greater difficulties ahead.
Foresee? Are you sure you don't welcome them? I'm starting to think you might hold a candle for your old friends after all.
Pray do not mistake mine intent. I but look upon the path which lieth before us with due trepidation. Shouldst thou be of like mind, pray consider then another course. For the power to invoke the ardour belongeth not unto the Ascians alone. With thine own hand strike down thine enemy, the so-called hero who would see thy home lost to light. Do but this, and thou wouldst at a single stroke disrupt the all-too delicate balance of this realm, plunging her straightways into chaos.
You do realize what you're suggesting, yes?
To ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, it is indolence. The words of my teacher, and a creed I hold close to my heart.
Very well. Draw her out. We'll make it quick.
It shall be done. What good a creed one cannot uphold? What hurts soothed? What lives saved? Oh, hapless fool, what hast thou wrought by thine own hands? Minfilia, my friends, I shall not now beg your forgiveness. Full deeply though it paineth me to walk it, I shall not stray from my chosen path. As Moonbreeder remains steadfast, so too shall I.
Buddy's plotting to kill me over there.
Or is he?
Or is he indeed?
What ho, Xaeus? I trust you had a good night's rest? I was but this moment speaking with Thancred and Estrella via Linkpearl. They had some interesting news to share. Apparently, during the course of their respective investigations, both came across crates which had once borne Ishgardine seals. It would seem that someone in the capital has been very busy indeed. Accordingly, the Temple Knights have launched a full-scale investigation. Sir Emmerich believes that it is only a matter of time before the culprits are found, but we shall have to wait and see. In the meantime, it seems only prudent to look into the recent activities of the other tribes, in case they too are flush with Ishgardian crystals. And with that in mind, I suggest we pay Oriange another. Wait, where is Alize? She was here a moment ago with Gabu.
Oh boy. Ah, let me guess. It's time to leave, isn't it? My apologies for disappearing again. If it's any consolation, I have already packed my things.
How is he?
Brother, Commander Blodin. Bleodin. Commander? Something tells me you are not solely here out of concern for his welfare. But to answer your question, there has been no change. He will not speak or eat. I'm not even sure he slept. If he did, he seems none the better for it. He just shuffles about with the same expression on his face. You will look after him, won't you, Commander? And treat him with every kindness? He's still in there, I know it. Beneath the anguish and the despair, he's still fighting with all his heart. He deserves to be given that chance, until he comes back to us, until we know for certain what has become of him.
Aye, aye. You needn't worry. If he hadn't risked his neck to warn us and help you secure the better part of the crystals, this could have turned out a damn sight worse than it did. Well, we'll not soon forget that, and nor will Maelstrom command.
I'm so sorry, Gabu. I truly am. You should never have been made to... And I know I cannot possibly understand. Mayhap there is nothing I can do or say. The pain, the anger, the helplessness. Hold fast to the memories of better times. Remember them as they were. And when it hurts so much, your heart feels fit to burst, let it burst. Let it burst and fill it up again with your love for them. And never, ever forget.
Come along, little one. I will remember them. And you, Alize. Thank you.
Oh.
Have faith, sister. Your words have reached him. In time, he will recover. And those who orchestrated these events will be made to answer for their crimes.
A 1,000 times over, there will be a reckoning. Woo! Let's go beat some people up! God damn it. Pray return to the Waking Sands! Vesper Bay ticket! Woo! Urianje, what's up, bro?
What is up, bro, indeed? We have heard the glad tidings from Ogoromo, my friend. By the grace of the 12 and your most valiant efforts, the people of Limsa Lominsa may rest easy. I should like to think so, yes. Though we failed to prevent the Lord of Crags from manifesting, we did succeed in weakening him, enabling our friend to dispatch him before the Warriors of Darkness could make matters worse. It was by no means an unmitigated success, but it will have to suffice. Then let us speak of another matter, one which weigheth heavy on my lady's mind. As thou didst request, I sought out the Garoon oracles, that we might better understand the aims of the Warriors of Darkness. Though their copious use of allegory defieth any single interpretation, the oracles paint a most disturbing picture, one of worlds parallel to our own, apart yet linked, reduced to ruin with every umbral calamity. 7 times have they succeeded. Then, of 10 and 3, only 6 worlds remain. Aye. All is as my lady Menphilia spake unto thee.
Spake? What?
Spake indeed.
Spake indeed.
As for what becometh of these reflections when they and the source are rejoined? Frail flesh undone in umbral fires, each soul surrendereth to her call, to flow unto the endless sea, there to endure as one and none.
Then if the Warriors of Darkness succeed, everyone in their world will die?
In essence, aye. The verse speaketh of the renunciation of the flesh and subsequent return to the life stream. However, this fate may yet be preferable to the alternative. For if the first were to fall to transcendent light in the manner of the Warriors of Darkness described, it would give way unto a void wherein none may know either life or death. Far better to die, they reason, for in death there is life. The essence of a soul which returneth unto the source may be born anew, saved. Such, at least, is their belief, I surmise. If that is true, then, gods, no one should ever have to make such a choice. Ere we speak further on this subject, I would share with thee another recent discovery. It would seem that several sizable shipments of crystals have been delivered into the hands of certain Alamegan parties. Alamegans? Strange. And you believe this to be the work of the same Ishgardian smugglers who supplied the beast tribes? I know beyond a shadow of a doubt. And lest thou wonder at their motive, I would remind you that the Ascians did once attempt to bring about the summoning of Rhalgr. The individuals who took receipt of these shipments are refugees belonging to a group devoted to the cause of Alamegan liberation. It may also interest thee to know that their Ishgardian suppliers appear to be none other than the remnants of Aline Royer's network of spies. Surely you jest, and yet it is not so surprising. Bereft of leadership and hunted by the Alliance, I can well imagine such villains being desperate enough to conspire with the Ascians, assuming they even know or care who their new employers are. All of which is irrelevant. Forgive me. Oh shit, he's learning!
Learning little alpha now.
We must seek out the resistance group which received the crystals without delay. Ixalia, Alize, will you come with me to Little Alamigo?
Oh my god, he's asking us a question. I mean, still, do I have a choice? Because I feel like I don't. But okay. Yes, of course. I should like to hear what they have to say for themselves firsthand.
May you ever walk in the light of the crystal.
My eyes narrow. You hear static noises.
Oriange, I would trust you with my life. You do trust him as well, don't you? He's such a trustworthy fellow.
So very trustworthy.
Alphino, Alize, Ixalia, are you free listening? Good. I have tidings. The Temple Knights raided the smuggler's warehouse less than an hour ago. A cursory interrogation of the prisoners yielded confirmation that they were in the employ of, and I hope you are sitting down, a man in black robes. Then you have them, and the crystals too. What few remained, aye. Regrettably, it would seem they dispatched one final shipment in the hours before we struck. 'Twas bound for Little Alamigo, we are told, where it will be received by members of a local resistance group. Since Sir Emmerich's men no longer have need of my services, I have a mind to head that way. As do we, by happy coincidence. We learned of the shipment but a few moments ago. Ha! And there I was thinking I might finally be one step ahead of the Warrior of Light and her little helpers. Ah, wait a moment. There is more. And I defy you not to be surprised by this revelation. The leader of the Ishgardian smugglers was formerly in the employ of Aline Royer, the infamous Ivy herself.
Ooh, buddy.
Once again, Thancred, I fear I must inform you that
God. Thancred, with whom else have you shared this information?
about the smugglers? No one. As I think I mentioned, the raid was less than an hour ago. I was planning to contact Ishtola next, but is there someone else you would have me notify first?
No, there isn't. I love how she just doesn't let us in on any of her suspicions.
One does not accuse a friend of betrayal lightly.
I mean, I guess that's fair, but she's obviously suspicious.
Yeah. What in the world has gotten into her? It is twice now that we have sought Uriange's aid, and twice she has treated him as if he were a stranger. Growing up, she had the biggest crush on him, but she would kill me if I told you that, and she knew. So let's keep that between us. The Archon was one of Grandfather's most dedicated pupils and spent as much time at the Levier estate as we did. He's practically a member of the family. Truth be told, I struggle to recall a day from childhood when I did not see the three of them laughing together. If this continues, I may have to raise the matter. Later, though. Little Alamigo awaits.
Little Alamigo. Little Alamigo. For Alamigo.
For Alamigo!
There we go.
Still no sign of Thancred.
Oh no, did he get got? I will get to the bottom of this. Oh, forgive me. It has been a long day. Did you have something to say? Urianger? Oh, I've always struggled to understand what's going on in his head, now more than ever. Listen, Ixalia, if anything should happen, it should be me who... Just know that I am prepared to do what must be done. Right then, no more pressing matters. Since we have no idea when Thancred might arrive, I suggest we see what information we can gather in his absence. Sure. Let us pray that someone will be willing to speak with us about the resistance.
So, to review, we are reliably informed that the members of the Alamigan resistance operating here have taken a receipt of several large shipments of crystals, our task being to ascertain who and why. Given the size of the settlement, I find it hard to believe that anyone here could be wholly unaware of the Resistance's movements. The challenge, of course, will be finding individuals who are both able and willing to share such information with outsiders. It would seem sensible to divide our forces. Ixalia, why don't you question the residents of the eastern half of town? Alize and I will do the same in the west, and afterwards we can rendezvous here to share our findings.
Suspicious. Ah, yes, the one place I get lost in.
Yeah.
Kinda sucks. Not gonna lie. Hi! Wow, Dude, you need better lighting in here, buddy. He is nothing but void.
We're from the board of mysterious and shadowy figures. Ah, let me guess. Come to join the fight, have you? No need to deny it, friend. You're not the first to answer the Griffin's call. While he's lit a fire in every Alamigan's heart, he's also inspired more than a few old Dons to pledge themselves to the cause. And little wonder, the Garleans won't stop until we're all under the yoke. 11-101, 11-102. Must impress wind-up Emmerich.
Fair.
I see you there, going around asking questions. Looking for the Griffin and his lot, I'll bet. Seems they're to talk a little Alamigo these days. Folk wonder on what he's about, what he's got in store for the Garleans, and what's under that mask of his, of course. Some say he's hardly got a face. What with all the scars? Others reckon he's been marked for death by the Empire, and that they'd send a bloody legion if they knew he was here. Your guess is as good as mine.
We actually had absolutely no information on this Griffin character, so brand new to me. Let me guess, this motherfucker's upstairs. Peloton.
All things considered, who do you think the Griffin could be?
I don't think I am allowed to answer this question.
Assuming you didn't already know the answer, we'll give it all.
I mean, technically knowing the answer, that makes perfect sense. Because we don't actually know what happened to said person.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So, like, it makes sense. But realistically, I don't think there's been any other named person or one that we've met that would make more of a candidate, I guess. Because I think that's the only one that we've met. Besides, I don't want to give stuff away, so. Yeah, we'll find out soon enough, I'm sure.
Voyage God. Yeah, the Resistance, damned if I know. It's not as if I'd be of any use to them. If you should store by all these tales of secret weapons, good luck to you. I'm too old for the mass bedtime stories. This is our lot. It's time we got used to it. I just have to continue nursing this terrible cough.
Oh god. Ill. Ill. Dying people. Gross. What? Onwards, Midgard Somoa! Well, that was easier than I expected. There's not a soul here who isn't eager to talk about our masked friends. Well, okay, but they said the Griffin. I didn't get any info on Asians.
The Griffin, I think she meant the Griffin, because he wears a mask.
Yeah, I mean, that's what one of them mentioned, but...
You know what? If she said friends and not friend, that might have been a mistranslation. Or a typo.
Maybe. Maybe.
I suppose I should ask what you learned, but I think I already know. This Griffin seems to be the leader of a newly formed faction within the Resistance. The Masks. Oh, never mind. Yet, Yet despite their growing popularity, no one seems to know much about them. Only that they are the most aggressively militant group to join the movement in recent memory. Indeed, many claim their commitment to the cause of Alamegan liberation is unrivaled. We can but hope their revolutionary fervor is never channeled in the direction of a primal.
What?
Foreshadowing. Though I feel confident that this is the group which received the crystal shipments, we yet lack proof. Before taking any action, I would speak with the settlement's leader to confirm my suspicions. It may happen enlist his help while I'm about it. Given that you and Gundebald are already acquainted, mayhap it would be best if you took the lead. Shall we?
Mike Science. Also, I guess I'm gonna have to... Oh, hi, Zarin. Whoop.
Oh, hello, Talia. I was thinking if you wanted to meet up later, maybe we could meet up later. Forget I said anything?
That's a stolen line.
Thank you, Baldur's Gate 3.
Tis great. To hear people speak of him, the Griffin sounds like a man in his middle years. But if that's the case, just what has he been playing at for the past 2 decades? If he's so devoted to the cause, why has he waited until now to do something about it? Unless, of course, he hasn't.
Naught would please me more than to be wrong about all of this.
It's Gundebald here. He's... Oh, wait, no, it's this guy.
Grumfing.
He's the Griffin. Look at his Griffin face.
He turns to look at you, and instead of saying words, he just screeches like a...
His face contorts into a Griffin. It's great.
Much as it pleases me to see you again, Ixalia, I cannot help but wonder if I should be worried. I hear you and yours have been asking questions. The Griffin, I know of him, as do we all. He and his mass have become a leading faction within the Resistance. Though there was suspicion at first, given his secretive ways, he quickly proved himself a charismatic and capable commando. Men are drawn to his passion and his vision. They truly believe that he is what it takes to lead them to victory. That he has what it takes to lead them to victory. Even I cannot help but admire the man for what he's accomplished. But I have not forgotten Wilred. I was blind to the danger of his ambitions, and you were not. The Griffin will soon deliver a speech to our people at the sunken temple of Karn. Go and see him with your own eyes. Weigh his words with your own heart. How convenient. 'Tis but a pity Thancred is not here to join us.
You two go on ahead. I shall stay behind and wait for him.
Who are these two?
Alphino and Alize, I think. Was Alphino here with me before? I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Whatever could be keeping him. If he's taken the scenic route, leaving us to do all the hard work, I shall treat him to a piece of my mind.
Is it just me or is Go ahead.
What?
I was going to say, is it just me or is like ending the line more difficult than like the rest of it?
Oh, I went out the wrong way. It's fine. Yeah, it's, I don't know. And like I said, like, she will randomly just lose her accent as I'm talking. So it's great.
Just gotta drop them R's and do the other things that the guy in the tutorial video that I watched said.
How to sound British. Woo. Oh, God. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Saya. Has it begun already? I hear voices coming from within.
Brothers and sisters, 20 years ago, Alamigo, our home, was claimed by the Garlean Empire. In our haste to overthrow the King of Ruin, we turned a blind eye to our foes in the north. With our glorious revolution, we but laid a path for a new tyrant to succeed the old. And when confronted with our failure, we fled. Not a day goes by that I do not think of those we left behind. Think of them and feel ashamed. And I know each and every one of you feels the same. We abandoned them, our own flesh and blood, to labor till their backs gave in and their breath gave out, building the twisted steel ramparts which now mar our once majestic mountains. We abandoned them, the brave and true, to fight and die for their country, or worse, to be conscripted and sent off to rob another poor bastard of his home. We abandoned them, the meek and powerless, to bow and scrape when the Garleans pass, to sully themselves that they might live to see another day of misery. The Black Wolf may be dead, but a new Imperial Viceroy reigns in Alamigo now. A beast, not a fraction as merciful. You all know the Eorzean Alliance will do naught to oppose him. For all their promises and platitudes, they will not act if there's no profit in it. Only we can free our brothers and sisters from the Empire's tyranny, my friends. Only we have the courage to stand and fight. They have imprisoned us. They have enslaved us, and they have murdered us, but no more! Blood demands blood, and the Garleans shall pay for every drop they have spilt upon our lands. This I promise you, for we have a power within us, my friends. A power befitting our pride, our righteousness. Only join us, and we shall grant you the means to unleash it, and together we shall see the Alamigan standard raised over the mountains of Gia Arbania once more!
A power befitting their pride. Not at all ominous, that. Wait, is that...
What are you two doing here?
I could ask you the same thing.
Well, this is quite the surprise.
If you
Who
see
are you?
what I see, if you feel as I feel...
Might I suggest we continue this conversation in more agreeable surroundings?
That's not Papalimo! That's not Yida! They're imposters! Kill them! What?
What?
Also, spot the main characters, right? Standing in the back of the row, and then, like, all of us not looking anything like the other NPCs, just there. Of all the places to meet, it has to be fate. I have no idea how I'm going to do her voice now.
I've forgotten my voice already. Mayhap it is my imagination, but you seem rather more rugged and world-weary than when we last spoke.
I mean, to be fair, when last we saw each other, you guys were sacrificing yourselves so that way all of us can escape, and then we've given pretty much not really much of a effort to find you. We just assumed you were okay, I guess.
I don't think we knew where they were.
I mean, I guess with Y'shtola and Thancred and even Minfilia to some case, we were able to like track them through, you know, the whole ether type stuff. But with them, their bodies weren't found amongst the people who were dead where we last saw them, and that was it. That's all we had.
Yeah. Well, words cannot express how glad I am to see you both alive and well.
And you. Though it was pretty obvious you and Xaeus would be fine.
The Crystal Braves never had a realistic chance of capturing any of the Scions, divided as they were and distrusted by the better part of Eorzea. But if you truly believed that, forgive me. What exactly have you two been doing all this time? Do you want to answer him? Repaying a favor. After the banquet, we had no choice but to flee Ul'dah, and we would not have been able to do so without the aid of some old friends from the Resistance.
That's right. They smuggled us out of the city and sheltered us in Little Alamigo, all at great risk themselves. Obviously, we couldn't let that go unacknowledged, so we offered to help them out with their operations for a while.
When we learned of the Scion's exoneration, that Lolorito had severed all ties with the Crystal Braves and that General Raban had been reinstated, we resolved to make contact. But having long since discarded our link pearls as a precautionary measure, our options were rather limited. To make matters more complicated, we were embroiled in a delicate operation at the time, leaving me with little choice but to entrust a letter to Ikoria. I gather from your puzzled expressions, however, that you never received it.
No. Not that I know of. To be honest, we thought this might happen. While the masks are happy to let the refugees spread the word within the community, they're pretty strict about communicating with outsiders. Oh, and we also heard a rumor that the Griffin doesn't want us meddling in his affairs.
The Griffin mistrusts the Scions of the Seventh Dawn? Curious. It is well known that we are no friends to Galamond. One would think the man we saw beseeching all and sundry to join his cause would welcome our support. I should say that the man you saw was not in fact the Griffin, but an impersonator, and a talented rabble-rouser to boot. It would not surprise me if he were responsible for the majority of these public appearances. As you may have gathered, the Griffin is an extremely cautious and distrusting man who has made every effort to conceal his identity. Even when we participated in a raid under his direct command, we were not permitted to approach him.
It's hard to know what to make of it all. The secrecy, the impersonators, the masks. What? It's not as if I'm making all of you wear one. And mine only covers half my face. It's completely different. Anyway, when we heard that the Griffin was due to give a speech, we thought it might be a good opportunity to get a better sense of the man behind the, to get a better sense of the man?
For all the good that did. And now you have heard the whole of it. But tell me, what prompted you to take an interest in the Griffin?
I tell it so that way we don't have to go through it again. Summoning? You're not serious. I can't believe it.
The Resistance would never even entertain such a ridiculous plan, but the Griffin... Well, the man is an enigma. I cannot say with any confidence what he would or would not do. What I can say, however, is that the speech we heard today was not the first to make reference to a power capable of defeating the Empire. The mass have made many such claims of late. I confess I had excuse me. I confess I had assumed it to be a mere bluster, but in the context of the shipments of which you spoke, it is not impossible that they are alluding to a primal.
Whatever it is, we'll find out together. Anyone tries to stop us, they'll answer to me. But mostly Xaeus.
Indeed, they will mostly answer to Xaeus. That is, assuming you'll have us.
No, you're dead to us now. You know, no contact. We thought you were already dead, so your graves are like at the waking sands. Just kidding. Guys, come on.
Fatalis, the new Papa Lane.
Oh no!
And Xaeus, the new Ito.
Yep, they just easy replacements. Fine. Ugh. Well. I'm gonna have to get some different clothes. It's hot here. In a damn desert. Anyway, that's gonna be it for this one. So, you know, until next time. On Final Fantasy XIV main scenario quest playthrough. Woo! Okay, bye.